Bandai has been one of my favorite brands in my childhood, and I've been watching the TV series like Gundam and Dragon Ball since I was a kid. As I entered my teenage, I saved money from my parents and bought Gundam figures for fun. I would say that it has better details and aesthetic than toys like Lego that are more common in the West. As an adult, I continue to be a fan of Gundam games. However, with the advance of AI and increase in the competition, I want to discuss how Bandai can innovate and find the edge in the market. And so, if you don't know me, my name is Johnson, and this video is not an investment advice. So first, to understand Bandai as a company, we need to dig into the business segments. So first, we can see that toys and hobby is the biggest segment in the business, and this can include things like Gundam figures and capsule toys. And the second one is the digital business, and it could be games such as the PlayStation Gundam Battle Alliance. And lastly, it is the intellectual property or IP, and this represents things such as movies and drama. And notice that all these three segments are highly interlinked and they're dependent on each other. So for example, we have Gundam Seed, and it contributed to the Gundam games and figures that the company sell. So even though IP is only a small part of the company, accounting for less than 10% of the overall net sales in 2023, it contributed greatly to the other segments, and this is actually the foundation for the success in the company, in my opinion. So with all the success from the past, Bandai has become a established company. Looking into the financials in the balance sheet, we see that it has almost 1 trillion in net assets in Japanese yen, and almost 33% of it consists of cash, so it has a lot of liquidity to take on any shocks. Also, it has increased the investment in the amusement facilities, which is good for the business. And looking onto the other side, we see that almost 33% of the assets is financed by the equity. So the company has been financing it with its own earnings for some years, and it has almost little to no debt. So the company is in a very safe position. And looking into the P&L, we see that the company has been quite stable and profitable. So you might wonder why the company has been conservative with a lot of cash and not push any farther. So, well, we see that Bandai, even though it has increased its net sales, it has actually a little lower profits than the year before. And one of the main reasons is the SG&A, or the selling general and administrative expenses, which has increased as a result of the marketing. And going into a specific page here in the annual report, we see that Bandai has actually invested in a new gaming title. So after a quick search online, I found that the title is called Blue Protocol, and that title has cost the company almost 8 billion yen in loss in the 2024 fiscal year. So Bandai has been trying to enter some new segments and establish an individual digital business title, but it wasn't linked to other IPs such as Dragon Ball and One Piece that are really popular in terms of animations. So this is where Bandai realized that the edge still lies on the intersection between the segments. With all that being said, I think Bandai will continue to impress both old and new fans. In the annual report, it has mentioned the refocus on the IP strategy, and it will allocate about 4% of the total net sales on the IP. So about 25 billion yen would be on the IP, So they introduced new titles such as The Witcher Mercury to attract new fans and Gundam Hathaway for the old fans. On the other hand, it will also make advances in new technology such as the metaverse, and that will help build the connections between not just fans and Bandai but also among fans themselves. So overall, I'm optimistic about Bandai as a company. So let me know what you think, and thank you for watching this video.